Hi, welcome back to the Kenny Veach M-Cave mystery. Welcome if you're currently here in the live premiere. I appreciate it. In today's video, what I want to share with you is the possibility of proof, which raises the questions of, is Kenny Veach profiting off his M-Cave hike video he uploaded to his YouTube channel? Today, I'm going to share potential proof of that with screenshots, etc. We can talk it through, give you my opinions on the matter, my analysis, and as we do go along, feel free to share your thoughts, opinions, reactions in the live chat box, and even make use of the comment section down below, okay? Before we do continue, if you are interested in the last video I uploaded, then there'll be a link down below in the pinned comment section for you to check that out. And yeah, we can check the comments out of the last Kenny Veach video I did, but I think I'll leave that later on into this video. It makes more sense just to get right into it, okay? I'll just present to you a very brief backstory of what this video is about, the title, so no one's confused, okay? So, Kenny Veach, also known as Snakebit McGee, his YouTube username, uploaded a couple of videos, right? Some no longer available, they were deleted, very odd. The others still there, including the M-Cave hike video. That M-Cave hike video wasn't the one he went out on and never returned. That video, he was able to return back to be able to upload the video. It was after that when he went out without recording anything, when he supposedly went missing, okay? But if we're just focusing on the M-Cave hike video on his channel, in which Kenny was unsuccessful finding the M-Cave, I guess a level of disappointment. The video being edited merged together, as you might see a few glitches throughout that video. That unreleased footage of Kenny getting back to his vehicle, never included in this hike video, was later uploaded by Sharon Pilgrim many years on, right? With that idea that the video was edited, we've already questioned, reliability, validity. Was Kenny Veach actually going out there to show us where it is or causing misdirection? Was he faking anything in between? If you want to look at a deeper discussion regarding that, there is a video on my channel not that long ago. Make sure to check it out. But today, I want to look just on the outer surface of this video, just simply going on to his channel, checking out his video, and what is one met with to raise that suspicion that Kenny is profiting. It's the fact that there are adverts on Kenny Veach's video, okay? I'm going to show you proof of it right now with this screenshot. Right, so here's a screenshot from my point of view when I loaded up Kenny's video called M-Cave Hike. And as you can clearly see on screen, the first thing that immediately popped up was an advert. Two adverts, to say the least. Don't know how long they were. Don't know what it's really about, but that's not exactly important. What is important is the fact that adverts are present in Kenny's video. Now, from at least what I can remember, when I went on the other videos of Kenny's, I don't remember seeing any adverts. When it came to the M-Cave hike video, I didn't always come across adverts in the past. Sometimes I guess it's hit and miss, right? Some videos out there do actually have adverts on, and then other times when you click back on the video, there's no adverts. So I don't know why that's the case, but that's probably why I've not always come across the adverts in the past on Kenny's video to be able to document. But there have been numerous people that have left comments here and there saying, oh, why are there adverts on Kenny's video? And I've been like, that is strange. But I've never been able to really document it or get a screenshot of it at that time, that moment. But recently I was able to, hence what you see on screen right now. So, yeah, kind of interesting, right? Now, you think of Kenny Veach himself. What goes through your mind when you see him? Do you see him as a dodgy individual, some kind of con man, or just genuine, natural, outgoing, positive, hopeful? whatever. Let me know your thoughts down below, like your first impressions of what you got from Kenny, right? I believe it was Susan Veach that said, you know, there's like a darker side to Kenny, and like some of the family members as well. And Susan Veach is a Veach-related family member and has been around Kenny Veach in the past, so that may open a few eyes for some people, right, from their point of view. But if we're associating Kenny Veach with adverts on his video, how do you profit there, or how do you like make money there? Well, basically, you know, you got YouTube, and if was Kenny Veach in the situation where he could monetize his channel? Let's just say that. Well, we can go onto his channel in a second. How about, no, let's go on his channel right now to follow the flow. Here we are on Kenny's channel. As you can see, he's got 60,000 subscribers and he's got a fair amount of watch hours as well. I can't remember how many subscribers he had back then in 2014. If there is anyone that can confirm it, feel free to list the figure down below. But basically, like YouTube requirements to be able to monetize your channel, become like a part of the YouTube partner program and have adverts on your videos, consist of getting 1,000 subscribers and about 4,000 hours of watch time or something. And statistically speaking, it looks like Kenny Veach would have been able to do that, right? Look at that, 633,000 views on his last video he uploaded, 224,000 there, 144,000 on his first video down there, and the M Cave hike, 3 million views, right? Fairly successful, depending how you look on it, due to the span of time. Now, if Kenny Veach was able to monetize his channel way back in 2014, when all this mystery unfolded and when he went missing, you know, what could have happened is he uploaded his M Cave hike video, may have been able to monetize it at the time, maybe adverts showed up, and then from there on then he decided to maybe try go back out there in hopes of producing another video, maybe. And though, even though it didn't work out, he just decided to go quiet, lay low, and go elsewhere to make it seem like he went missing. But why would he do that, though? Why would Kenny Veach do that? Could be numerous reasons, whether it be people after him, for whatever reason, or something to do with money, but wanting to start a new life elsewhere, fresh start, possibly. And then some other additional reasons as well. I'm sure you'll have your own theories as well, which are welcome. But maybe being able to tie it all together, upload a video going out there, the hike, saying you're going to go back out there, not providing an update to the general public, though maybe the odd family member might know, you never know. It creates that mystery, right? What happened to Kenny? Where did he go? Did he ever come back? Did he find the cave? There is at least some footage of where he intended of going out the second time round. Maybe this video on screen, the M Cave hike, was a certain, I don't know, method of being able to try and prove people wrong that he can find it and it is out there, but at the same time being able to benefit off it. Because you've got to take in mind, Kenny Veach did quit his job around the time. And that's why he tried pursuing his inventions, as you see on screen, the Shark Tank submission. He did that as almost like a last desperate attempt of trying to make some money and be like acknowledged by investors, I guess. But that fell through as well. So as like more doors close as you go on, you think, shit, what do I do? A level of desperation, maybe, or a level of thinking smart and trying to plan something out. You know, if we are under the impression, some of us, that Kenny Veach faked his final hike out there to appear as if he went missing, he might have tied it in line with that M Cave hike video. You never know. And speaking of Kenny's M Cave hike video, just now I just wanted to click back on his video to check either the comments or the stats. And once again, you see that level of consistency. I shared with you that previous screenshot of the adverts on Kenny's video, and I've just gone onto his video literally right now, And the first thing that shows up is more adverts. As you can see, 1 of 2. You can skip them, but they're still adverts. It's still generating some kind of monetary value, whether it be just to YouTube or to Kenny himself, right? I think there's a bit of a split, right? What I'm just going to do, I'm going to play the advert very quickly and skip through it, okay? Just bear with me.
It's an air-up bottle that flavors ordinary.
There we go. Just had to do that. So yeah, we go in this section, 68,000 likes, 3+ million views, uploaded 2014, 18th of October, searching for a weird cave that I came across on a previous hike. So Kenny's channel is fairly established, but more so the reason why it's got to this point and it has these values and stats is because of the mystery factor. Him turning into a missing person case and the mystery of the M Cave. It sparked the attention and interest of different people and big YouTube channels like DJ Cook, as you can see there. He did his own videos as well, though I don't know if he's done any updates on Kenny. Wouldn't be surprised if DJ Cook did do an update video on Kenny Veach, just like any other big YouTube channel that had failed to include any relevant new research by the other smaller YouTube channels like mine or Jeff Klaar's or Sean Horlecker's, Scott Natal, etc. SB Vega's Adventures. It's typical. It's annoying. Well, even my comment is there, as you can see. Obviously not really acknowledged much by most people. As a person, Luciana, he seems really nice. The people who called him a liar, I really hope you understand what all of you did. This is what I mean. This is the level of degeneracy when you got people in the comment section bitching, moaning, complaining, whinging, whining, calling out the people that accused Kenny of being a liar. That's just typical behavior, what you'll see on YouTube at the end of the day. Right? People saying, prove it, prove it. No, you can't prove it. Well, then you're a liar or you're a bullshitter. And that's just how it is, right? You got to understand Luciana and all the other people that go on about this. Kenny Veach was determined regardless. He was a passionate hiker. He was interested in this cave. He wanted to find it for himself, but also to be able to share with other people. Whether he was called a liar or not, he still would have gone out there trying to find it, right? And maybe that deeper motive of trying to find it to spark a bigger mystery in some way. Maybe to appear on the Discovery Channel, maybe to be interviewed, become some kind of tour guide of the area. You know, depending what's going on in his mind at the time, he's quit his job back then. He's got to find other methods and means, right? So is it thinking on the spot? Is it planning ahead? Could be both. Could be a mixture, right? So we don't need to go through all these comments because it's a waste of time. But you clearly saw there was adverts on his hike video. Now, if you start skipping through it, will adverts show up? I'm not quite sure. I don't think we have to worry about copyright claims or not. Though, do you know what I would say? It's not happened yet. But if anyone, and I mean anyone out there, receives a copyright claim for using this video of Snakebit McGee's, tell me down below in the comment section. What that would do is highlight the possibility somebody is monitoring this YouTube account of Kenny's, right? Because for like a copyright claim or a copyright strike, that's done manually. Someone's reported it. Maybe the channel themselves have looked into the copyright section, looked at the notices, saw that ID claim thing of someone else using their footage and then struck them or requested a removal, a dispute, you know, etc., etc. That would be done manually. It's not happened yet, but it would be further reinforcing evidence to suggest someone is still actively on this account, right? And you might say, but why? Why would someone be active on the account? Well, my question to you would be, why would someone be active on Kenny Veach's Facebook account then? Like with this rough screenshot, bear in mind it is a thumbnail of a previous video I did, but as you can clearly see on the left-hand side of the screen, that is Kenny Veach's Facebook account, Kenny Veach in the profile picture. And this is taken from Facebook Messenger, in which Kenny, well, the account of Kenny Veach attempted to make a phone call to Susan Veach, the sister-in-law, someone would have had to have manually made that call, right? Either Kenny Veach himself behind that profile, using a different phone, of course, or a family member. I know people said it could be a hacker. It could, though the opportunity of hacking into his account, more could have been done to create more confusion, mystery, misdirection. That did not happen. So it makes me think maybe it was accidental. And that's why when Susan Veach tried calling back to Kenny Veach's account, no one answered. And what we also need to acknowledge, more so in recent time, this is speaking from 2022, around November, up to present day 2023. In between then and now, more so recently, Susan Veach did tell me and say that Kenny's Facebook Messenger app was uninstalled. And the reason why, you see the bottom corner of the screen where it says invite to Messenger. When Susan Veach tried responding to Kenny Veach again in recent time, making a phone call back, once again, this time round it said Kenny will get a link to install the app. That notification did not show up in November of 2022 because the app was still installed on that person's device, Kenny's, okay? Though in 2023, not too much of a jump in between through the years, right? Because it's almost at the end of 2022 going into 2023, right? And that's when someone, or Kenny, ended up uninstalling the Facebook Messenger app. It doesn't just magically uninstall off your phone. That doesn't happen. Believe me, I've had apps on my phone or computer, whatever. I may have not used them for a long time, but they're still there. Okay, believe that. I've had the odd app from the App Store, which is discontinued, deleted, removed from the App Store because it was taken down for whatever reason, but it was still installed on my device. If I uninstalled it, I could never get it back because it's no longer available in the App Store. So I left it on my phone. It's still there to this day and it's still accessible. And this is from 2015 onwards to present day, right? So people saying, oh, maybe Facebook manually did it themselves, uninstalled it from Kenny's device. No, you have to manually do it yourself. Okay, you might be logged out, kicked out of the app and you got to sign back in. But as you can clearly see here, it says a link to install the app. The app no longer being installed because a person took it away, removed it themselves. And you could say, maybe it was a family member, maybe it was this, maybe it was that. Why though? Why now? Why not back in 2014? Why do it in 2023? Doesn't make sense. And if you're gonna uninstall Kenny's Facebook Messenger app, then why is Kenny Veach's Facebook profile still public? You might as well take that down as well. Because as you know, sometimes when people have passed away or are presumed dead, maybe more so tragic circumstances, the account tends to be shut down or privated, so no one can harass that dead account of the dead individual, right? Well, in this case, it's still up there, though the Messenger app has been removed. You do one thing, but you don't do the other. That's a little bit dodgy, a little bit suspicious, right? So there's possible behavior by Kenny Veach in the background, right? At different times. You get what I'm saying? You look at Kenny Veach, 2014, the M Cave hike video was released. Maybe around that time, if not later on, possibly monetized, hence the adverts on his channel. His channel having a fair few subscribers and views. The M Cave hike video having about 3 million over time, generating a reasonable amount of money. Is it lots and lots? Not really from 2014 till now, but it's something. It might be a background thing. You know, I don't know how people call it Americans. It's a side hustle. Maybe that's what's going on in Kenny's mind. Maybe he doesn't take too much notice of it, but At the time, he thought it might have been a possible idea, right? As a bit of money to make. Or maybe he thought that was the go-to plan. Didn't quite work out, but down the line, started generating some views. Now you could say, well, if Kenny Veach was truly successful there, and like with the adverts on his videos, then why did he not step up? Why did he not upload a future video, maybe of him returning back saying, hi, it's me, I'm alive? Because then that would generate lots and lots of views, right? Well, it could, but after that video, it would probably die out. If Kenny did a video saying, hi, I'm alive, I've returned, there'll be a lot of people interested, wondering what's happened, wanting to see the video themselves. It might get just as many views as the MK Hype video did, but the moment that video is released, the mystery, the hype, the suspicion, the intrigue dies because it's been resolved. End of, kind of. Kenny's alive, Kenny's been found, here I am. It removes that mystery, okay? So that's probably a possible reason why Kenny wouldn't do a follow-up video. The other reason is simply because he intended to move away to begin with, right? The YouTube element, online element, in real life, moving on, fresh start, leaving all the other stuff behind him, including YouTube. May not want to come back, though he was able to set up like a minefield, and the minefield of mysteries, the minefield of possible mind games, the minefield of ads over time, right? Kenny's MK Hype video down the line could get 5-6 million views. It's that constant passive monetary gain, if you want to call it that, right? So you see adverts like that, 2 adverts, not just 1, but 2, right at the start of the video before you can even click off it. So makes you think. Just let me know, okay, in the chat or in the comment section, have any of you come across adverts on Kenny's video? Let me know. So now what I want to do is truly analyse it with my own thoughts and opinions, okay? Good and bad, for and against arguments to either prove or disprove it. So to begin with, it seems very evident adverts are on his video, the MK Hike one at least, and other people have experienced it themselves in the past. Now, how did those ads get there in the first place? One of 2 ways. Number 1, Kenny did it himself on his channel, or a family member did themselves at a certain point in the past. When you go through the checks, you've reached the subscriber mark, the watch hour mark, you become a part of the YouTube partner program, and then you can start having adverts on your own videos, and you can choose how many adverts go onto your videos. Not always guaranteed. Some adverts may show, others may not. YouTube can automatically add them on as well in the process, but you can manually choose where they go and add more if needed, okay? So that could have been seen as a business strategy, maybe a quick on-the-spot decision at the time, thinking that's what we can do. Was it done immediately? I don't know. Could it have been done at a slightly later point, maybe around the time when he went missing? If he staged it, faked it, right, to start a new life, but also to benefit from online through his disappearance. It would make sense around then, because if he was unsuccessful finding the cave, it's like, well, that was a waste of time. What have I got now? What can I do? Maybe I can monetize that video, right? Now, when could you start monetizing videos? I believe in 2014, it was definitely possible. Maybe the requirements might have changed with time and it's become a little bit more lenient. Maybe the adverts have changed, or, you know, certain stuff become a bit more restrictive, but I'm confident that it could be done back then at some point. So you can kind of understand the possibility that Kenny could have monetized that video and maybe some of the others because he felt there was no other direction to go in. He couldn't find what he wanted. So he's got to try and make up for it elsewhere. That lost time, that wasted energy, make up for it monetary. Possibly, right? Now, the other option, natural. Kenny didn't monetize his channel. It was just YouTube that decided to put adverts onto his video. That is a known thing. That has happened at times, okay? You'll go on channels which aren't a part of the YouTube partner program. They don't monetize their videos, yet they still have adverts at the start of their video and maybe throughout, let's say. You're not in control of that at times, okay? If YouTube decides to put ads on your video, they will do so, okay? It is what it is. Personally, it really isn't the end of the world. An ad is an ad. If it's about 15, 30 seconds long and you can skip it, wow, it's not that big of a problem, is it? But obviously some humans have a bit of a hissy-pissy fit when they find out, oh, advert, advert, advert. The only time when it becomes a bit annoying is when there's 2 adverts at the start of a video and they're both unskippable. I will at least acknowledge that, okay? But yeah, there'll be a fair few channels out there that aren't monetized, whether it be because they haven't reached that mark or they just don't want to become a part of it. And yet YouTube will slam adverts on these videos. Now, could it be selective? Possibly. You know, as said, when adverts are put on videos, so much revenue goes to YouTube, the rest goes to the creator if they are a part of the program. If not, then basically all the revenue goes to YouTube if an ad is on a video, right? So maybe YouTube automatically puts ads on successful videos only. Videos that might be growing, videos that might be hot at the time, statistically speaking, because of the engagement with the likes, the comments at the time, the thumbnail, whatever. Whatever is generating traffic to that video, YouTube might think, well, it's performing, so we're going to put adverts onto it and benefit that way. That is a possibility. Though, I said, there's times of inconsistencies where there'll be other videos out there which are successful, which do have quite a few views, millions upon millions, and there's no adverts on them whatsoever. So it is truly hit and miss. It all comes down to how you interpret it yourself as the viewer. What I would say, in my opinion, it wouldn't surprise me if Kenny did monetize one of his videos, if not all, to be able to benefit in the background whilst getting on with other things in life. That's what I would say. Now, at the end of the day, is it a bad thing to do what he did? Is it a bad thing for someone to do something like that in general? It might all come down to the transparency of it, depending on the situation, and we can do some kind of comparison on the spot. The regular viewers on my channel will truly understand. As for the newer viewers, the people returning back from the Kenny Veach community, you probably won't know, but it's all under control. I will explain it all, okay? So you got Kenny Veach may or may have not put adverts onto his videos. He went missing. Let's just say he faked his disappearance. He can do what he wants with his life. If the family or some of the family are in on it and know, then who is really impacted? Any friends out there of Kenny? Possibly. Kenny's following fan base have been betrayed in a way, lied to, deceived. That's a bad thing, right? But arguably speaking, Kenny can do whatever he likes with his life, even if it doesn't appear morally correct or good, right? Is it illegal what Kenny's done? Not really, no. You know, it's not a scam. It's not like raising money. It's not a fundraiser in which someone's saying, right, give me this money. Help me reach this target mark so I can go off and do this or get that. And then what ends up happening is it doesn't happen, but the person still got the money and went quiet. That's not how it is with Kenny, okay? And as I said, I'm basing it off the concept if Kenny faked his disappearance, how it plays out, okay? If Kenny ever did return down the line, people might be relieved and happy to see him, but maybe if people found out what Kenny did and why it was constructed in that way, you may feel stabbed in the back, lied to, deceived, and that's what can create a bad taste in people's mouths. And the idea of the adverts on videos, it's like a strategical move which benefits the user of that channel, but kind of maybe frustrates the viewers who are okay with the adverts, but aren't okay with the motive for it, having to go to that length to stage something to that magnitude. It seems a bit far-fetched. I can understand other people out there will be thinking far-fetched in general. It doesn't seem possible Kenny did fake his disappearance, right? As I said, there's different layers to how it goes. Like, in my opinion, I feel the hike Kenny did was genuine, okay? He didn't fake it, from the looks of it at least, or for most part of it, it wasn't faked. But the disappearance part is questionable due to where the phone was found at the mineshaft, the loose change, and the scent wearing off right at the mineshaft. Maybe doubling back on himself and being picked up by another individual. Reason why the vehicles, items, possessions left out there to simply highlight that's where Kenny was and to throw people off the scent. Literally, right? You never know. So, yeah, there's that. We just put that aside, you know, the negatives. As for the positive, you could say Kenny is smart, planning ahead. He knows what he's doing. Maybe other people will think, no, he's a plonker, he's a prat, he doesn't know what he's doing, he's reckless. If he can't do a hike without getting really dehydrated and on the verge of collapsing when he did have the resources with him but he decided not to due to sheer stubbornness, then is he going to be able to make a business manoeuvre? Walking away from his job in hopes of doing some kind of invention thing, hoping for the best when there's not really much foundations. Is he able to pull something clever off in his situation? That's debatable. As though what Susan Veach said, and I'm sure she'll have her own additional opinions if she wishes to share them down below, provided there's not too much resistance, about the background of Kenny Veach's family, certain portions of it, and Kenny himself, shadiness, darkness, to do with money at times, right? It has been touched upon. Even Artari covered it at some point, but she received resistance and was almost silenced in some way, which is interesting, right? If there's that level of background history to either conning people, confusing people, bamboozling individuals, planning things out down the line in the long term, then maybe Kenny may have incorporated it here with this hike and that video. Now, would Kenny have been confident or known that the M Cave hike video would have led to that amount of views down the line? You don't really know, do you? Like, even when we upload videos or anyone uploads videos, you don't know how it's really going to perform until it actually happens. But, you know, if Kenny had a bit of a following back then at least, there was some substance, there was some foundations at least to maybe predict, highlight and forecast the stats, what could, you know, prevail down the line, right? Also, one thing I just wanted to highlight, if there wasn't mystery to it and it wasn't like a setup, but adverts were put on and it was like monetized, whatever by the individual, and it was all done in that way, there wasn't like, hey, I've monetized my channel, here you go. But there was no, right, I'm gonna secretly disappear and confuse everyone, but I am okay. There's no deceiving there. There's the transparency isn't really there. The explanation isn't really there, but no one's really asked, so there was no real need to bring it up. In a situation like that, and it can probably apply to other channels out there, if there is adverts on the video, at the end of the day, once again, is it the end of the world? As I said, referring back, people do have a bit of a hissy fit when it comes to adverts on videos in general. Like, just on a general basis, majority of YouTubers out there, whether they're monetized or not, if they put time, effort, focus, physically, mentally into making a video, editing it, whatever, putting time in, they deserve some kind of positive outcome in a way. As for a viewer who just simply sits there and watches, they're still supporting the channel in a positive way. So at the end of the day, it's like a positive circle, but it doesn't always apply, right? The positive circle is someone puts time, effort into creating something which could entertain someone or educate a person or help someone in whatever way. It can happen at times. And then that person viewing, whether they contribute in some way or another, super chat, super thanks, or not even that, just simply providing information or their own experiences, or just saying thank you whilst watching the video, or even, you know, giving a thumbs up, that's a level of support in itself. So everyone is kind of in a positive scenario, right? That's how I see it, at least, just in general on YouTube. Doesn't always apply, because obviously all these weird schemes, scams, dodginess going on in the background, left, right and centre. Obviously, I've not done deep dives into all that stuff, but I've just briefly come across the odd video here and there of random YouTubers, big known channels where it's all collapsed and all kinds of scandals have gone on in the background, right? So maybe you can apply, does it apply to Kenny Veach? Maybe not to the same level, right? It just depends how you look at it. And I don't do deep dives into that sort of stuff, because at the end of the day, it's more about looking at certain cases, right? Unless a case does tie in with a potential scam, and this is where I add it in with a similar scenario. So we're basing it off Kenny Veach possibly scamming, deceiving people and thinking that he's dead when he's not, and also benefiting at the same time in a certain way or another. When it came to the Dylan Rounds case, still ongoing. Playlist available on my channel if you wish to follow along that case, if you're new to it or returning back, okay? But one of the individuals in question, a person out there trying to search for Dylan, in which other people agree with what he's doing, but some don't, and a few think he's not even searching and just pissing about. Debatable once again. But there was a period where this searcher known as Lance Kelly, YouTube username Earthworm Infotainment, set up a GoFundMe, several over time, because it kept expiring but still receiving the money, trying to raise around $13,000, $13,000 fundraiser to be able to afford a cadaver dog, get the training in, and then go out there with proper equipment to then start, well, to continue searching for missing people like Dylan Rounds, Susan Powell, Tommy Novak, and maybe some of us in between, Aidan Killeen, yeah, right? But that dog hasn't been, brought in yet, and it's like mum's son. What's happened? Some people feel it's a scam, that money was actually used elsewhere. Other people believe that it's genuine and natural, but there's a divide, right? And if worse came for worse and the outcome was it was some kind of scam, then obviously people feel betrayed, annoyed, frustrated, backstabbed because of the lack of transparency. That's where the negative outlook is. Maybe if there was some kind of honesty at the start, not as many people would be as frustrated. There might be a slightly better level of understanding, right? I mean, as a contrast to all this, Sean Horlacher, also known as Sean Carner on YouTube, Cave Kenny Veach Hiker Original. Some of you will know of him. In the past, he went out there hiking, put in the time, put in the effort, but then eventually, because it became a bit more demanding, more dangerous, and he became a bit of a target with time, he decided to raise funds through GoFundMe to be able to afford better equipment, to bring in personnel, other people for protection, but also for documenting it all. A bit more professional, almost like documentary style crew, right? But to be able to do all that, you need the funds. So what Sean did, set up that fundraiser, more so in recent time, selling merchandise, shirts, t-shirts, Cave branded products, right? That type of stuff. And all that money that's, generated is put into this fund to be able to fund the hike and the equipment going back out there. There's a purpose, there is a motive, there is a reason, right? For whatever reason, is there anyone doubtful of that? Let me know down below. Scott Natal did some kind of money raising at one point, and it was treated as like money raising. Susan Veach at the time misunderstood, but I think it made sense eventually. Scott Natal selling Cave t-shirts, hats, sticks to people, and then all the money raised there would be sent to Veach's family. Don't know why, but that's what Scott was trying to do at the time. Scott said it fell through, no one really bothered buying any of this stuff, but an attempt was made. Sean Horlacher, a little bit successful, some form of money raised with time, but I don't it never reached the target, and that's like 2-3 years on. It's unfortunate, but it's like, it is what it is. Do you only think what I'm interested in when it does come to these fundraisers, GoFundMe, etc., etc., what happens to the money if the goal is never met and the money is never withdrawn? It just sits there, goes to waste. Anyone can confirm that? Interesting. I mean, it's like with, what can we just randomly throw into the play as we're speaking to keep it somewhat relevant and to tie it in with the Dylan Rounds case? With the Dylan Rounds case, you got people left, right and centre, Vimeo, Cash App, PayPal, this and that. It's like all over the place. Whoa, a little bit, what do you call it, overwhelming, right? Not that, it's the end of the world, not at all. But the way they just advertise this, advertise that, link. Too much going on, calm down. I mean, the PayPal link down below in the comment section, which I normally have pinned, and I think at the end of the video and just on my channel, if you, well, I can't even get the fucking words out, good job me. For whatever reason, if you wish to visit the PayPal link, feel free to click on it, it'll be down below. But the way it's worded, it's don't always like it, me personally, in my opinion. Like with the PayPal, at times it's called donate. I don't like that word. Why can't it be called super chat, super thanks? I know it's a bit random off subject, but like, not donate, but like support, but not supporting donate. Does that make sense? I don't know. Like, if someone wanted to show acknowledgement for whatever reason or in some way for effort put in by that person that uploaded a video to show support or to say thank you in a different way, that's very good of people to do that, right? And people have done that over time, so that's very good of them. Like, I think YouTube has the best method, super chat, super thanks. If you wish to show support, you can if you want to. Nothing is forced, and it's worded in a positive way. Super chat, super thanks. It's not called donate, GoFundMe, give me my Amazon wish list ASAP now so I can buy this laptop, I can buy this. It's not like that, it's not as forceful. It would be better if PayPal was able to reword it slightly. Just in my opinion. Kind of random, but I just wanted to acknowledge it, okay? So, personally, at the end of the day, you can leave your thoughts down below. I just wanted to share this with you now because it was probably one of the only first times where I was able to get a screenshot of these adverts showing up in Kenny's hike video, okay? I mean, maybe it's nothing. It could be YouTube at the end of the day, just simply adding them in themselves, but there's no full-on proof to suggest that. But then again, arguably there's no full-on proof to suggest that Kenny has monetized his channel, unless you are able to log into his account on YouTube, check the YouTube Studio app and see if there's anything going on there. Is that possible? I don't think so. I don't know. Unless someone in the background can get into it, but then depends who that person is. Oh well. So one other thing I want to look at briefly is the comments of the last Kenny Veach video that was done, just to see what people had to say, if there's any questions that need to be answered, any additional interesting information, new responses. We can look at that right now. If you wonder why I did it in this order this time around, it's because with it being Kenny Veach, people are a bit more hungrier. The bite is harder, snappy, right? So you need to keep the relevant stuff at the start of the video, and then this stuff can be for the patient people that are still around. So shout out to the patient people. Let's head on over now to the previous comments and begin reading. Here we are, we just arranged it to the newest. The good news is this time round the comments are nowhere near as long as the last one what we did. So you can relax, it's fine. We got Lone Wolf here. Now, Lone Wolf has shown up in the Dylan Rounds case, but I believe is a long-time viewer, arguably speaking, with the Kenny Veach case. So they have stuck around. And they say, why was that ladder backwards? Unfortunately, they didn't respond back when I questioned them. I assume they're talking about the mineshaft ladder. Personally, I don't I don't remember it being backwards or knew it was backwards. If Jeff Clark can answer that question, feel free to do so, Jeff. I know we spoke about the brace or the bracket at the top snapping off and the ladder slipping down or something, the odd rung missing, but we ended up figuring what part that was. It was by that group of guys, and I did do a video on my channel documenting it all under control. If you wish to check it out, feel free to do so. But it was a group of guys. One guy had a beard. In 2018, a year after Jeff Clark went down to the mine shaft and descended in, and they went in themselves, this group of guys, in 2018. Didn't find anything, but just went inside. Did they report on the crystal skull when Jeff Clark asked them in 2021? No. They were like, oh, I don't remember that. I had no clue it was there. So that was unfortunate. That could have been really interesting if they were able to report on it, because I believe in 2021 when Scott Natal went to the mine shaft, the crystal skull was nowhere to be seen. So from 2017 to 2021, what happened in between? Would have been good if there was a bit more documentation going on, right? But yeah. Anything else? We got Mr. Basketball History saying, damn. Don't know why. Guess he's responding to the video in shock, maybe. Awesome Destroyer. What does Awesome Destroyer says? Nah, Raf, I wouldn't be listening to what Miss Susan Veach has to say. She is just trying to lead us off the right path. She says the reason why I don't like her is because I said it wasn't her, but that's not the reason. Right, okay. I mean, with time, moments where we've questioned Susan Veach, is it really her? Yes, no. Like, I was like that at the beginning, right? Is it really you? Yes, no. And then, with like communication going on, it made more sense. And then Atari as well, with her interactions, more so with Susan Veach at the time. There was a level of consistency, right? So it made more sense. Though after that period, there was fake accounts set up. Fake account of Susan, gave her a bad image, a bad name. People got mixed up there. Like, hell, in 2022, fake accounts of me appeared on people's channels in the Dylan Rounds case. And people were gullible, people fell for it and believed that I was the one saying that stuff. Was the backlash very negative? No. It was maintained, controlled, but people still fell for it. So if people can fall for a fake account of an established channel like mine on a small scale, technically speaking, then there's even more chances that people are going to fall for that Susan Veach account, the fake one, and believe it's really her saying all that bad stuff when it's not. Okay? Is that relevant to what Awesome Destroyer is on about? Maybe not quite. But Awesome Destroyer, can you acknowledge that you did come across the fake Susan Veach account at a certain point, or did you not come across that, right? Because there were fake accounts of her, in case first-time impressions confused certain individuals, and that's what led to the questioning. I don't know. Joshua saying, don't worry, Susan. I'm always here for you no matter what. I've got your back. If anyone knows it's Susan Veach, show her the respect she deserves. Sonny saying, yeah, well, this is a think tank and has been for a long time, and bullying and mocking the people who care about finding out what happened to Kenny is stupid as fuck. We're going to continue what we're doing here, and if y'all don't like it, then oh well. Susan doesn't have to comment or even watch. She thinks it's a joke and we don't. So who really has the problem here? It's ridiculous. I know, right? She just makes it a huge joke, like she is leading people off the right path. And then Susan says, I think you insulting the only member of the Veach family trying to find answers is a joke. This is no joke, Tank. This is a forum for bullying because it doesn't fit your agenda. I think there is a clear way of addressing this issue, this situation, and I believe it might be needed for another video, okay? And that will be coming at some point, at some point. Hopefully Jeff Clark, are you there? Jeff Clark, are you in the chat? If so, I acknowledge that a video needs to be made around your experiences, all under control there. I've got it somewhat organised in the background. I'll eventually get round to doing that video, but I think we need to address this situation first, okay? Do I need to screenshot it? Oh wait, was there another one? Let me just screenshot it on the spot, just for future references, okay? Just in case I need to respond back to certain comments. Oh, shit. Hate it when it does that. Why is it not doing it? Come on. There we go. Just for the future, okay? So I don't have to keep going back. Cleekly, appreciate your content, Warlike Ref. Pure satisfaction. So that's good to hear. Someone called G, Kenny Veach case, thumbs up. Shout out to them. Jeff Clark, yes. There have only been a total of 13 confirmed hikers in Picture Canyon in 8 years. Even double or triple it if you want to, but that is not many in such a huge place. A lot of things could easily have been missed. Jeff saying, and most people who bother to hike that far into such a creepy place will post pictures these days so we can count up most of them ourselves. Sean first hiking buddy, can't remember his name though. Sean's 2 other hiking, camping buddies, me, Silver Hills, J Chuck, SB Vegas, Nuttall, Aquachigga, Mystery Hikes, buddy, I can't remember the other one. J Chuck. Frank, exploring abandoned mines and unusual places, but don't quite know where he was, but he did make an attempt to try looking for AM Cave, at least. Anyone else in between? The guys in 2018, that group of random people. Yeah. At the end of the day, not a huge amount, right? So all the other YouTubers, viewers that end up saying, oh yeah, lots of people have been out there. No. And then people can say, oh, how do you know? Because I'm fucking communicating with people that have been out there, and the people that have been out there are reporting the same thing what I'm saying. Okay? Simple as. Sunny Productions. Oh God, let's not start talking about hair again. Yeah, that's to do with the other case, Dylan Round's conspiracies going on there. Kevin Bell, Glock 27 is a 40 S&W. It is excellent for self-defense. Wait, is a 40 S&W Smith & Wesson a revolver of some sort, and it's like in black? Or am I getting mixed up with something else? Eileen Maher says, love your Kenny updates and mini docus. Shout out to is it Eileen? I don't know how to say it. I think it's Eileen. I believe a longish time viewer, still sticking around, so that's good of them. Got Jacqueline Rampley popping in. Thank you for the great video. I'm defo interested in delving in. I hadn't even heard of Kenny until I came here, so I'll need to back to the beginning to get some basic stuff into my noggin. Noggin means head, okay? I think that's British UK slang. Okay, is that it for the comments? It appears to be. So we were quite efficient with that, and as I said, we can do a follow-up with Susan Veach just to explain the situation, okay? So hopefully most people were able to understand this video and coverage and understood the precise specific language used, wording, etc. You may disagree, but of course the comment section is down below, so if you wish to share your thoughts on the matter, whether you agree or not, predictions, suggestions, info, even if you've got questions, list it all down below in the comment section. That's what it's there for, okay? And as I said, there'll be some links elsewhere down below if you wish to check the previous video out, etc. And yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up. Let me know if you learned anything new or if you found the video interesting. If you wish to, feel free to like the video, but I think that's it for now. Thanks for watching, appreciate it, goodbye and good night.